Hey, what's up, peeps? Don't forget to turn the likes on, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. I really appreciate it. Positive vibe. So I think we got some news on French Montana. Do we? What's going on with him?
It's pretty interesting. So a lady has filed suit against French Montana for drugging and sexually assaulting her. According to page 6, a woman is suing French Montana for allegedly committing sexual battery when she was drugged and raped inside of his home.
So, any details up on that?
Pretty much just a quick summary. So, she's saying that one of his employees, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's Mansour, I don't know, Bennouna, and Coke Boy Records. She's basically suing them for assault, battery, sexual battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent hiring, supervision, retention, and negligence. So she's saying that he basically invited women, to their home, places like that, either to different bars and different places like that, and will provide them with either drugs or drinks and sexually assault them without their consent.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
allegedly.
Allegedly, in a nutshell, that's what's happening. So it's pretty damning evidence. I mean, it's a pretty damning case. Let me put it like that. Like,
right.
I don't know what the evidence is that she has,
right.
But the lawsuit, the claims in the lawsuit are pretty horrible. I mean, we're kind of hoping this is definitely not true. I mean,
right.
on both sides, because I know there's a lot of French Montana fans out there, that hope is not true, and also on the flip side, for the potential alleged victim, you also don't want that to happen to anybody either. So
I want to kind of stay neutral, as we always do here.
Exactly. So I mean, it's just a horrible story to hear about. Like, I never want to hear about anybody being hurt in any way, possible, and then having it be, one of your favorite celebrities is just kind of makes it even worse in a way. So,
and we also don't want anyone to be accused of anything that they haven't done.
Exactly.
And basically, we want this thing to play out the way it should play out, fair and balanced. Right. So,
he allegedly did these things. Like, he's being sued for these things. So we don't know.
We don't know.
There's no confirmation. I haven't seen any evidence to say that he's done these things. And I also haven't seen any evidence that the complainant is lying. So either way it goes, like, I haven't seen any evidence. Either way, it's just a story about him being sued. And this is what he's being sued for.
It almost reminds me of the young bird situation. You're letting people in your house, and you have to be careful of the company that you keep.
Absolutely.
With the young bird situation, there is still this gap of information that is missing. He still has not turned over the evidence to authorities to corroborate his testimony as well. So here we are again with another rapper and a female, especially in the Me Too movement right now. You do not want to be on the end of allegations at this point.
You don't want to be the one being Me Too. Definitely not. But at the same time, I mean, if you are a sexual predator in any way, shape, or form, then, justice needs to be brought into your life, basically, is the deal. It's never okay to sexually assault anyone or hurt anyone, So if you're doing the crime, I mean, I hate to sound so cliche and like old school, but I'm old. So if you did the crime, you're going to do the time, period,
So do you think, in the Me Too movement, that certain things can get taken too far, certain allegations are made that aren't necessarily sculptured for Me Too movement, but because people see that this is a wave to ride that they're gonna jump on, and
yes.
I do
feel that way. Like, there are certain cases it's like, okay, no, you weren't sexually assaulted. Like, if you are a willing participant in a situation, to me, you are not being sexually assaulted. And I see that a lot of times. What ends up happening is, at that moment, you are a willing participant and you act on, whatever it is sexually. But then 2 or 3 days later, maybe the guy doesn't call you back, or he's not your boyfriend anymore. And then you want to say maybe that you were sexually assaulted or something happened to you, but in that
Right.
moment you were down with whatever it was.
Right.
You know, you were cool with it. So at that time, you're okay with it. The guy's cool with it. You know, and then days later, then you want to maybe sling, you know, his name through the mud and say like, oh, he assaulted me and I really didn't want to do this, but like you did it anyway. So how is that man to know that you don't want to do this? You know,
Right.
he can't look into the future and be like, you know, in 3 days she's not gonna want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, she's gonna hate that she did it. So it's tough. You know,
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It's a tough situation. So I just say for everybody, you know, be careful out there. You know,
Right.
be mindful of the things that you do. Because the next day, it you know, it may not be so clear. You know,
Right,
the next
right.
day you may regret some of the things that you did, but you can't blame the other person. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You just have to think about what was happening in that moment, and if you agree to it at that moment, then you know,
Right.
I don't think it's that other person's fault. You know, if you did agree to it at that moment, you can't reflect on it later on and say like, oh yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Right.
Yeah, it is, but you know,
Well, there you have it. French Montana has been sued or is being sued
right.
for sexual assault,
Allegedly.
allegedly. So I want to hear from you. Leave your comments in the comment section.